Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Corey C., and I'm here with a very special guest today. Well, actually, a few special guests today, but I'm here with the founder of a new protocol known as Internet Money. I am here with the founder, KG. He is also very well known in the Pulse Chain and Hex community. I also believe that he is an administrator for the Pulse X Telegram community. Am I right on that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So you have a lot of responsibility, especially in an ever-growing community, especially in PulseX. And if I'm not mistaken, were you also an admin for the Hex and Pulse Chain Telegram chats?
Not for the Telegram, but I'm a moderator on the Hex and Pulse Chain subreddits.
Awesome. Oh, okay. That's just as difficult. So yes. I salute you for doing that. That is not easy, and good for you. It shows that the community entrusts you in a lot of with a sense of leadership. So first, I want to say congratulations on that, and then secondly, I want to say congratulations on launching your own cryptocurrency. So good for you.
Thanks,
and you're welcome. And I'm really looking forward to learning about internet money. So the people in here, I just want to say what we're going to do is I have 5 questions I'm going to ask KG, and then after that 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I have 5 questions I'm going to ask KG. And after those 5 questions, I'm going to allow the community that's in here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are in here, ask questions for KG. And that's how we're going to do this. It'll be easy. It'll be, a nice little community function. I've never actually did a podcast with, for what I remember, more than one person in a very long time. So I'm actually excited to do this. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So the first question I want to ask you, KG, is why did you start Internet Money? What's its main purpose?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to, you're giving us our first opportunity. So thanks, man. And we love what you do, and please don't stop doing it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. We started Internet Money because we noticed an essential need that needs to be fulfilled. And that need is simplicity in the crypto space. There are great projects, all in crypto, all in Pulse Chain. You've got Liquid Loans, you've got Hadron, you've got all these incredible protocols. You got PulseX, Hex, amazing projects. Those things are for the advanced user, which we all love to get into. We all love the game theory. The advanced crypto user loves those projects. I can't get enough of them. I'm a big supporter of all of them. We are targeting the person who is either new to crypto or very not versed in crypto. So our main mission is to onboard new users into the crypto space through Pulse Chain. We're team Pulse Chain all the way. Let's go. 100%. So
I see that.
Yeah. We want to.
I like the shirt.
Thanks, bro.
The jacket.
Thanks. So we want to do our part in strengthening the Pulse Chain ecosystem. And we feel that our role is giving people the approachable means by which to come into Pulse Chain.
I like that. I like that there's a lot of, in cryptocurrency, let's just face it, right now, one of the major setbacks of cryptocurrency is onboarding new users, especially to these protocols that even the most veteran cryptocurrency investor can't really explain in layman terms. When you have the ability to create something that can onboard new users, especially to a new blockchain, specifically Pulse Chain in this case, I think that's a very, very important, and I say virtue, to have in the blockchain space, because it's not easy to onboard users. So I salute you for doing that. And let me ask you this then. How does the buy and burn work for this protocol?
So our contract is as simple as it gets in crypto. No admin keys, no taxes, no inflation. The only function our contract has is you can buy it, you can sell it, you can trade internet money. That's it. So we launched on Binance Smart Chain with a supply of 420 trillion. We want to lower that supply as a pumpamental for the Pulse chain. So we implemented a buy and burn period, which you can actually track in real time on the site. imcrypto.net. And for every one internet money bought on Binance Smart Chain, started on Christmas until the launch of Pulse Chain, 2 IM will be burned on Pulse Chain. So 1 bought here is 2 burned there. That's what the buy and burn is.
Okay. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I like how you're a deflationary cryptocurrency without a tax. And the reason why I say that is this. There's a lot of new cryptocurrencies out there, new and well, mostly new, that are coming out and they're implementing, and Richard Hart spoke about this actually yesterday on his podcast with that, I don't know his name off the top of my head, the guy with the pink hair.
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about.
But it was great. It was a great interview from both ends. And he brought up a good point that a lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're deflationary, but they're deflationary because they have an immense tax. I mean, basically they have a buy tax and they have a sell tax. So basically you're already down 20% or whatever the tax is the second you buy and sell the cryptocurrency. So I like how you're a deflationary protocol without implementing that portion on the smart contract, because basically when you buy and sell with a tax, you basically have to hope to God that the price skyrockets so you can make your 20% back.
Exactly.
So that's a big deal. That's a big deal that you're not doing that. And especially usually a lot of cryptocurrencies with a high supply do that, but you're not doing that. And I like that. I like that you're a deflationary cryptocurrency. And I know you said that you launched now a lot of the Pulse Chain projects I'm seeing, they're initially launching on BSC, and I completely understand why. Because if you launch on Ethereum, you have to take out a mortgage to basically do a transaction.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I like how you're onboarding users from BSC to Pulse Chain. Now, my question to you is how the one-to-one copy to Pulse Chain work?
So for every 1 internet money IM that you're holding on the Binance Smart Chain, you will get 1 IM on Pulse Chain. And because it's not Ethereum, you're not going to get it automatically when the fork happens. So there's going to be one of 2 options that occurs. Either A, we're going to implement a protocol that will just automatically drop it into people's wallets, or B, we're going to implement a claim feature on the website that you just claim your tokens based on what you're holding. So this is a good question, because like the other projects that are launching on BSC, it actually took me a little bit to wrap my mind around, well, if you're not going to be included in the fork, how are you going to get your tokens? So it's a great question, and that's exactly how we plan to do it.
Absolutely. And I like how you're doing a one-to-one copy on Pulse Chain. I appreciate that, because you're giving people the opportunity, 1, to have double the coins, and 2, simultaneously onboarding users from BSC
Exactly.
to Pulse Chain. That's important, because as much as Pulse Chain is obviously not going to launch as a ghost chain, and we're seeing a lot of protocols just basically piggybacking off the name, and they're, I want to say successful, but from a monetary standpoint, they rise substantially, which goes to show that Pulse Chain, from a monetary standpoint and also a technological standpoint, is very hyped up right now. But I appreciate when I see projects that are, 1, transparent, because there are some projects that I see in the Pulse Chain community right now. And I want to give a shout out to the PRC altcoin Telegram channel.
Oh man,
that's doing what they can to vet these projects because it's not easy. And they're keeping lists. I mean, I think his name is Ben and Jerry is keeping comprehensive lists, like also with the long vacation. They're keeping comprehensive lists on what projects are launching on Pulse or what projects say they're going to launch on Pulse. So I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that you are you're leveraging BSC to onboard users to Pulse Chain. So,
Yes.
so salutations to you.
Thank you.
Now, I know that you're very, very well known in the Pulse Chain and Hex community, and that's a very, very good thing. And I also want to say before I go on to my next question to you, which kind of is interconnected to this question, I want to say I appreciate you showing your face because there are some people that are camera shy, and I understand that. But when I interview a project, I really like to have a face-to-face conversation. I like to know who I'm talking to. So, and that's very important for community. And you're building a very vibrant community, I see. And it's organic, which is also very good. You're not paying for followers like a bum. You know, most people who buy followers, I'm sorry, they're scrubs. So kudos to you on doing that as well. I mean, you know, you're doing a fantastic job, you know, building an organic community and a cryptocurrency that really has the potential to onboard a lot of users. So besides you, who else is on the team?
So the team is comprised of myself and a group that I actually know in real life. We didn't meet through the crypto space. Awesome. And actually, we have one of Richard Hart's developers on our team as well. The same developer who you see has built pulsechain.com, who's built the new Hex website, who designs the logos. Wow. He's actually the one that built our site the way it is right now. And he's implemented the buy and burn aggregator on the site. So we plan to make him our main full stack developer going forward. And I'll get a little more into that here in a bit.
Definitely. That's a big deal. I personally didn't know that. So that just brings a whole assortment of not only utility, but opportunity to this project. I did not know personally that you had that type of, I would say, connection. And also, I didn't know who else was on the team besides you. So that's a really, really big deal. That's important. That's yes. Very important.
Yes,
so
and that's oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Well,
no,
go ahead.
So that is one thing we're also doing with this project is we're extending opportunities into the community as well. It's not just, hey, let's find the cheapest person we can on Upwork or Fiverr to do this work for us. It's let's build Pulse Chain and Pulse Chain community. We are team Pulse Chain all the way.
I like that.
And so
I like that.
So is the team. We're all Pulse Chain day one sacrificers. We can officially wear the badge Pulse Chain OG. So yeah, we're for this ecosystem.
That's awesome. It's strange how opportunity comes to some people who are passionate and are willing to build for a protocol. When I first got into Pulse Chain, it was actually not that long ago. It was, I don't know, mid-September, late September. I did an interview with Eric, if I'm pronouncing that properly, it's AERECK, and he was kind enough to basically give me an OTC for a day one sacrifice rate.
Wow.
So yeah, very, very nice guy, very good guy, very benevolent, very, very good dude. I'm deeply appreciative of him. So because without him, I would have not been able to sacrifice. Well, I would be able to sacrifice, but
yeah. I understand. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, that's awesome. That's awesome that you guys have been here from the start. That's really great. And so my last question to you, actually, no, not my last question to you. My second to last question to you is, the difference between internet money and I like this question. Difference between internet money and Bitcoin.
That is a good question. And it's something that we get asked a lot because we are branding ourselves as or for a more punny term, we're coining ourselves as a peer-to-peer digital cash. And what makes us different than Bitcoin is a few things. One, we're not our own blockchain. We are operating and built upon the best, fastest, the Ferrari of blockchains. Also, Bitcoin really isn't usable as a peer-to-peer digital cash unless you have 3 hours to wait for a hamburger, right?
Yeah, it's absurd.
So with internet money operating on the fastest blockchain, if you've ever operated on BSC, even that alone is lightning fast almost. And Pulse Chain is going to be faster and cheaper than BSC. You should be able to, in the same little conversation, be able to send your friends internet money. And so I believe that's what separates us from Bitcoin. We are what Bitcoin tried to be.
I agree. And I like how Richard Hart honestly calls out that notion that Bitcoin really, and I say this on Twitter sometimes and I get backlash, which is fine, I understand, but Bitcoin cannot be a currency. It's too slow. I'm not waiting on a line for 4.5 hours to buy a shirt when the transaction, literally the Bitcoin in 4 hours, Bitcoin can go down. I mean, we saw it a couple of weeks ago where Bitcoin went down 9% in under 30 minutes.
Wow.
So that's kind of like the transaction sometimes takes 4 hours. I've waited a day sometimes. So not going to happen. So with that being said, we see the long-term vision of Bitcoin now doing a store of value notion very well, in my opinion. The digital gold concept, I think that Bitcoin is doing pretty well, in my opinion.
Sure.
And that's I would say that's the long-term vision of Bitcoin. Now, my last question to you before I give it over to the community is, what do you see the long-term vision of internet money as?
Okay. So if we become a store of value, great. That's not the intention. If the price fluctuates, it's almost irrelevant to our long-term vision. Going back to the onboarding new users into crypto through Pulse Chain, with that being the main mission, our vision is to build an application that you can download Android, iPhone, that is its own internet money wallet. And our light paper that will be released shortly after the new year has a breakdown of how we plan to onboard our first 15 million users into the internet money application ecosystem. And the way we're going to do that is depending on what tier you get into the app at, you're going to get dropped X amount of internet money. And you're going to get dropped a little bit of Pulse as well. So we're going to make we'll make it very simple and easy to get a wallet. We'll give good education on the seed phrase, store your seed phrase. And then new users, they come into crypto and they have two currencies. They have a currency that they can transact with, and then they have the currency that pays for gas on the blockchain. So even if it's 1 or 2 Pulse, they should still be able to transact.
Absolutely.
So that coupled with the website that basically does the same thing. And we're going to have a presence on every social media site: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, you name it. We are going to go to the world where the world is, and we're going to bring them cryptocurrency. All they have to do is download the app, and they're going to have crypto, and they're going to be able to transact, and it's going to be through the Pulse chain.
That's huge.
That's the long-term vision.
I like that. I like how, first of all, you have a team that can execute that vision. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you guys understand the importance of onboarding new users. That's the big deal to me. the third thing is that the ability to differentiate what has worked with Bitcoin and what hasn't, and the ability to perfect that with internet money is very important. And I think that you guys can and will execute this vision long term. I really am excited to see that. I really am. And I'm very happy that you launched this cryptocurrency, because I'm seeing how the community is expanding very quickly. I'm seeing the hype around it in the Telegram chat, and I'm really excited to see it flourish. I really am.
Thank you. And even the name itself is easy and simple and approachable. What is it? Well, it's internet money.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It is. Like, people underestimate the value of a name. Like, for example, like, not that this is a bad name, but like Solana, for example. Now, I interviewed way back when the CEO of Solana.
Wow.
And yeah, it was way back when, before Solana took off. It was like $1.50. But the thing is that, like, if I tell a new crypto user, like, oh yeah, have you ever heard of Solana? Like, they're like, oh, and I don't bring up cryptocurrency, like, oh, Solana, Sol. Does it have something to do with the sun? Like, no, it's a top 15 blockchain. Binance. If you don't know what cryptocurrency is, what did Binance even mean? Ethereum's got a nice little catch to it because it's got Ether in it.
Sure.
But these are not concise names where people can say, oh, this is exactly what this is. This is internet money. This is exactly what it does.
Exactly.
So I think what you guys are doing is fantastic. So I really want to say I appreciate you answering these in-depthly and concisely. I really appreciate this, KG, and we got to do this again.
Sure. I appreciate you having me on. Again, you've given me my first opportunity to speak out to the public, and I appreciate that more than you can know.
Awesome, man. I'm happy to. Now, before we end this, I just want to ask, is there anybody right now in this chat that wants to speak and ask KG a question? I'm going to leave the floor open we'll leave it open for about a minute. If no one says anything, then we will end it. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask KG that we may have not covered, or anything along those lines? Tejas, I see that your microphone is not muted. Do you want to say something? Hal, do you want to say something?
Yeah, thanks for your insightful questioning as the host, and your responses as well, KG. I just wanted to quickly ask you then, so internet money and Pulse is going to be pegged to the PLS token, right?
Yes, there will be a liquidity pool for PLS and internet money.
Good. Thank you very much. Just to clarify that.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for asking.
KG, didn't you put, like, I saw something in the Telegram channel, maybe I'm wrong. Didn't you start a liquidity pool already? You put like your own money in the liquidity pool or something like that?
Yeah, on the BSC side, I started the liquidity pool and invested BNB in that.
Awesome. Putting your own money in it. That's very noble.
Putting it in, man.
That's noble.
Thank you. I believe in this project. I want this to be my career. This is who I am and what I'm doing. It's not like, this is my passion at the moment, but I'm working to make this what I do and who I am. So I'm investing in myself because I believe, and in this project because I believe in it.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear that from a founder. It's very noble.
Thanks, bro.
No problem. So Tom Cruise just said, I'm pumped. You're solving a huge issue with crypto adoption. You shouldn't have to be tech savvy to buy crypto.
Agree.
I absolutely agree. You should not you should be able to have the technical IQ of a shovel and be able to and be able to buy cryptocurrency. If you can't, there are some people that are turned off from cryptocurrency because, you know, they buy Bitcoin. They start off with $5 worth of Bitcoin. They send it to an Ethereum an Ethereum wallet, and they lose it. Now, I just tried to onboard my grandmother yesterday on Coinbase because she wants to sacrifice for Pulse X. My grandmother's born, she was born in 42, so she's going to be 80 this year. And I told her that Pulse Chain, the sacrifice has kind of ended, but there's a new sacrifice coming up. So I go on Coinbase, I sign her up, and I wait for the 2 deposits to come in so that she can verify her payment method. I go in 3 days later, and Coinbase basically deleted the identity stuff that we put in, the payment method we put in, so we had to restart. And I'm like, you know what, Grandma, don't make the Coinbase account. Just send me the money. I'll do the sacrifice. We'll put it on my MetaMask ledger, and then when you want to liquidate your assets, I'll put it in my bank account. And you just pay the taxes because this onboarding process is absolutely horrible.
Exactly.
Absolutely horrible.
Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
What? No, I'm sorry.
Well, and with our ecosystem, what we're trying to solve is that right there. Exactly. Everyone knows how to download an app. So we want to make it as simple as you download the app, you're in.
Absolutely. So let's go back to the chat. I see 2 more things. Okay, so CEO of Mandingo. Great show, guys. Thanks to you and KG for all the things you're doing for the community. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And KG's doing a wonderful job. I appreciate him coming on here. So is there any other great delivery? Simplicity wins anytime, any day. Yes, it does. Albert Einstein basically said, to summarize it, I don't know the exact quote, but to summarize it, he said, if you can't explain things in simplistic terms, you can't explain it to a 4th grader, you don't really understand what you're trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
So simplicity is very important. Does anybody else want to ask KG any questions before we conclude? Mark, Hal, Yasmin, Tejas, Danny, Tom, Manding, anybody?
Oh, I will say one more thing. If you
go
don't
ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
So one thing the team is also building is on this application, we aim to have a fiat on-ramp into internet money and into Pulse. So
thank God.
So no expectation of the work of others, please. But that is part of our goals is to, and if someone else in the community builds it before us, we're not going to try to compete. We'll use their fiat on-ramp. But if we can be the ones to do it, then amazing. We'll have it for the community. Yeah.
That's huge. Fiat on-ramp. That's what we need. The short story I just explained is that exact reason. Coinbase is too annoying. And living in New York, I mean, you're in America as well. You know how difficult it is to use most exchanges out there.
Mm-hmm.
So fiat on-ramps, with the exception of DEX exchanges, fiat on-ramps are necessary for people like me. Besides Coinbase, I really don't have any fiat on-ramps.
Exactly.
So let's see the chat. So Tom Cruise, all good here. Great work, guys, and love the watch Winder KG. Paying homage to Richard Hart. Absolutely. Then we have, oh, wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize that was bro, my vision is so bad. That's probably why I got into a crash list.
The team got it for me. They thought it would be
That's awesome. So Mark Chill, internet money is the future in so many ways. I'm tired of having to make a dissertation to explain. He got that right. To explain to people what crypto is and how to get in. You're damn right. Simplicity is what we need, and internet money. Very excited to get people in on internet money. Great quote, Corey. Thanks. You're very welcome. And thank you, KG, for your time as well. Anybody else want to say anything before we conclude? I'm reading all the comments that are in the chat. And if you want to speak up and ask a question, go ahead. Does anybody have any more questions?
I can pull a Richard Hart and show you my watch.
Go ahead. Go for it.
So this is all part of it, right? This is a fake Rolex.
That's funny. Let me go get mine. Let me go get my from a friend. He was a jeweler, and I thought it was awesome. I actually tried to sell it on eBay, and because I had no idea about prices. It was fake, but this is mine as well.
Beautiful, bro. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
Is there the map in there?
Yeah, it's. I love it. I mean, it's definitely not real. You know, he gave it to me as a birthday gift, which I'm very appreciative of. I haven't put batteries in it for years, but it's big fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's awesome. I like the homage. I do.
Yeah, cool. Thanks to
maybe one day we'll be able to have 9 watches in the back.
Yeah, maybe. And you know what? Maybe one day. I don't even know, honestly. No disrespect to our age, but I don't even know if I would spend my money on Rolexes. Truth be told.
Absolutely not. No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not.
I can think of a lot better things to do with 150 to 250K.
I absolutely agree. I am cheap as poop, and
Got you.
I would never spend that much money on a watch. Absolutely not. Nope.
Agreed.
I still put $7 worth of gas in my car because I'm not cheap. And you know what gas prices are. I don't know what they are in where you are, but where I am, it's about $3.30 a gallon.
Wow.
So we have CEO saying great watches. Thank you. I have seen internet money memes. Why does internet money have such kick-ass memes?
We got a kick-ass community.
That's right. I was about to say you got a vibrant community, and that's the point. That's the point here.
Man, he makes a lot of those great memes too.
That's I think I've seen him on Telegram, and he's very supportive, and a lot of Pulse Chain projects very supportive of you, and he's very supportive of me. So I want to say I appreciate that.
Likewise.
So last but not least, does anybody have anything else to say before we conclude? No? All right, KG, I really appreciate the time. This was really interesting having more guests on the podcast. I may start doing this as well. I may have to get Zoom Pro. But this was really interesting. I like this.
Well, thank you for letting us do it. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you're doing for the community, man. Please don't stop.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna try. Thank you so much, brother. And let me know as internet money expands. You know, the door's always open, man. You ever want to do something? You know, just hit me up.
Sure. Likewise.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, brother, and have a good New Year.
Can't believe it. You as well.
Thanks, mate.